Alright, so last time you guys were able to finally get over the Aria mountain range, one of the several obstacles you'll be facing on your journey towards the north. With the final destination of Esterilia, there is still at least one more obstacle in the way, being that of Fort Mock. However, there are still places between here and there, as one such place, which was to the south of you, you were able to meet up with yet another dragon. They are an uncommon sight, but in your lifetime, you have a good chance to see about two of them. And this being the second one, it probably spells terrible for your time spans if you've already seen two. This one was able to identify themselves as Virsaf, and you saw quite the either bloody battle or the movement of corpses as they were devouring them. After being accosted by both poachers and Naga alike, Alva Dry was able to converse with the dragon and basically ask what had gone on, as well as offering up some healing services. The Asaf informed you that they were being demanded by the Naga to help them move across the rivers, with mentions that he would be able to, well, she would be able to give them some protection against the elements. And since dragons normally have a wide range of spells, it's probably a very good chance that they could do so. However, she did not like the way that it was demanded of her, and it seemed like the Naga weren't going to take no for an answer, and so a battle ensued and she won. However, she did say that she doesn't really have any healing capabilities as she is right now, and after you healing her, she had a short conversation with you, telling you that she is currently on a pilgrimage of sorts. She is currently moving between the different dragon domains to converse with them. And she did make mention of a dragon's hold, but I don't think anyone really followed up on that. From there, she climbed up the nearby mountains and flew away. Though, instead of heading towards the east, where Givren Temp's domain is, which was her next destination she was talking about, she instead headed northways. Whilst your party were getting towards the end of their daily journey, you had a rest where you were. And after said rest, you went towards the north, reaching the settlement of Natalian. This was the place that you were going to be dropping off Biggs and Wedge, the Skeller boys, but you were able to converse with Aristat Crow to have them in his employ instead, as the undead are relatively well to work with one another. And upon reaching Natalian, you definitely saw it was still in the same sort of affairs as you were able to gather from local books and maps, as the entrances to the city were guarded by wooden golems, some with either preset commands or with a modicum of intelligence, as one approached your caravan, looked over it, and asked if you were hunters of Naga or had some sort of dealings with them. And after getting your business in Italian, it allowed you to enter into the city without too much issue. And entering through the city, some of you were able to notice that quite a few of the golems had either been newly crafted or newly renovated, as they had nary a scratch on them. And we will pick up from there as you move through the streets. The city streets of Natalian are mostly barren of people. As far as you can tell, either the populace is currently indoors doing their daily business or has gone off elsewhere. However, in replacement of said humanoid faces, you see quite a few golems, from various designs of animals to the normal humanoid versions you see used as defensive or offensive means. The ground is pitter-pattered with giant golem footprints, showing that they have been moving around possibly more than usual. The streets are signposted, so it's relatively easy to find wherever you want to go. What is the party's first stop in the Talion?
Finding the local inn and the guild business here, I guess.
Indeed, I don't think we have anything specific we need to get rid of. We have some gear, but I think we've sold the majority of it, haven't we?
And even if we do, we can deal with that after the first order of business.
Indeed. In the group, sorry, there's a +1 longsword. Is that one we haven't identified, or is it just there? Or is it just a longsword?
I think it was the one.
Just a +1 longsword, but I'm not sure about the Shiva designed headband, if that's magical or not.
No, those were both from the Shiva branded stuff.
Yeah, and I think you have both of those now, don't you?
Yeah.
Cool.
So I
Sorry,
think
Benjo.
I'm out then?
I think so, yeah.
We also were going to spread the news about what was going on that little stop we made at the herbalist's house or whatever.
Yeah, that's the
Apothecary.
guild stuff. That's why we were looking for the guild people.
And didn't we get a letter from the Ronso lady?
Same stuff.
Okay. I was just trying to, like, when you said guild stuff, I was...
Yeah, but that's it. We
My
were
brain
going
didn't
for the
correlate
guilds to
the
get
two.
help for the mountain rage and the situation and give the letter on that end.
Okay, let's go.
Following the signposts across the streets, you're able to find the local establishment of the Colourful Bard.
Can I smell the beer?
Yes.
You just see Al slightly tilted forward, sniffing her way towards the door.
Just for reference again, how old is Al?
19.
Just look 12.
Drink, please. See, I said please again.
Oh, go close.
Well done.
Notice.
Traveled quite the way, haven't you, Al? I'll get you the usual.
Hey, look, it's our dragon friend.
You will definitely notice that Veersarf is currently coiled up in front of the fireplace.
Oh yeah! She's waiting for her drink.
Beer first, dragon second. Muman will place a mug in front of Al. Almost at your final stop, right? You're going to Fort Mock, weren't you?
We're on our way there. Thanks for the drink. How come there's another dragon in here? And she'll like nudge her head towards Veersarf.
Not too sure what you mean by another dragon. That's the only one fully that's here. But they took a stop. The door is thankfully big enough for large creatures. They were in the area looking for apothecarian reagents.
I'm gonna go say hi. And she'll walk with her drink.
I don't think I recognize anybody else in this bar besides the dragon and Moonmarn, right?
No character here is what you remember. The only thing that would be notable is that there are 2 summoners, as you can see, both a Shiva and a Rama avatar.
It's a long time no see. Literally saw you not long ago, Viritar.
Incredibly short time indeed. You are not stalking me, are you?
I was going to ask you the same thing. Have you recovered well?
The high winds do well for my electricity. The wounds have closed up, aside from the ones you healed.
So you are all healed up. Do you want to have a spar outside?
I'm not too sure the locals would appreciate the explosions.
Ignore them. What do they know?
Natalian is quite on alert with the Nag issues. Many people are hard at work making more golems. If you are wanting to test your metal, however, I could have a task for you.
Is the reward a spa?
It could be. Though I can offer your compatriots some better rewards.
That's fine. I will start waving a party over. Come here.
I suppose we better hear her out.
Yes, I suppose so.
I see they are not temporary companions. The same faces on the road.
Yeah, they seem to be following me.
I'm doubtful they're just following you.
What's that meant to mean?
It is good to see you again in better health, Brazard.
Thank you. It is nice to see more familiar and friendly faces.
From when last we spoke, we thought you were going in a different direction. Did you want to simply rest before heading off, if you don't mind my asking? Would you have business here?
Eastward is my main direction, though I have some stops along the way. I am to be bringing gifts to the dragons.
Everyone can roll perception. Zairin is probably too focused on other things. But everyone else can notice that the table just to your left here, the people amongst it are listening in and speaking amongst themselves as you can hear them talking about other dragons.
I will
Yeah.
turn her face and look at them. Got something to say?
The nearby Elvan will look over. What? No. We're just, it's quite easy to hear that dragon speak aloud. We're just mulling over the idea of other dragons around. They'd be quite the force to be if we had them help us against the Nagas.
Did I hear something about a job?
Yes, I have something that would be easier that other people would take care of for me.
What kind of job? We might be interested.
You prove to have healing on the road. Definitely more stable than most to make it over the mountain. I require the horns of a Saganal. And luck would not be on our side. A nearby farm has been overrun by one.
I'm sorry, a what now? And he just looked real confused.
A farm. You hear?
No, the creature. A Saginaw?
Oh, I wasn't listening to that.
Yes, they are quite resilient to lightning. It poses me an annoyance.
What can you share with us about these creatures?
Could we also potentially make knowledge checks to try and figure out what they
Yes.
are?
You
Yeah,
can do knowledge arcana.
trained
Yourself
only,
will
I'm assuming.
describe them enough. You have to be trained.
I assumed.
I will aid. I won't.
No, you won't.
I tried.
Alrighty.
More points in knowledge.
If that's the only two of Arcana, you know that Zarganols are beasts that look like crazy red bulls with blue mohawks on their backs, and you can learn 2 traits. The Ursaf did say that they are resilient to lightning. If you want to know the actual number, you can ask that, but it's up to you.
I think, yeah, maybe not weaknesses, but immunities and resistances, just so we know what not to use. Does that sound good? Or are you guys thinking you need the weakness?
Fine, whichever.
So
Oh.
we're having resistance and immunities, are we?
That's what I suggest, but if people want to do it differently, that's fine. Just so we know what not to use, and we can figure out numbers for resistances.
Alrighty. You know that it has no immunities, and it has resistance to lightning of 10 points.
Okay. So it's not. I'll say to Ed will say to Al. It looks like it will be resistant to your lightning, but it's not going to be entirely immune to it. So you should be able to use some of your abilities.
Okay.
If it does make the reflex save on the breath, it does the half and then -10, so there's a possibility it would do nothing.
Maybe ask where this farm is. Is it nearby? Is there someone that you know particularly who's given you this, not job, but thing to do?
The Zaganal has been there for quite some time. I merely asked around for any sightings of such a beast. The farm in question is about a half-day's ride to the west.
Well, I think that's doable. What do you all think? And you need the ear, is that correct?
The horns.
Let's make sure we don't break those then.
I say it should be doable.
Don't see why not.
Sounds like fun.
You could probably do with the coin, honestly.
There is no monetary reward for this. Our wish is a spar. But for the rest of you, I can grant my blessing, minor as it may be.
Ooh, what does that entail?
I can revitalize one's mind through my electrical currents searching for yours. It will make your mind refreshed.
In mechanics terms, it would be some form of retraining.
Interesting.
That sounds good.
Well, we could certainly do that. Zenka, are you in?
I don't see why not. That should be a great aid on our journey forward.
Indeed. We've gone quite some time. We've come quite far, even.
Before we jump on that, however, I believe we should finish our business here for what we came for.
Indeed, I don't think it'll take too long.
What sort of timeline are you looking at?
Within the next few days. If you are to be heading to Fort Mock, I'm afraid I might be gone by the time you return.
And this is what, evening time or no, morning time?
You're in late afternoon. You could go to there with the time you've left in the day.
Okay. Well, what do you guys think? We could head out today, or we could do it first thing in the morning?
I think we leave today. We can make our, as Zenka said, we can speak to our friends, or guild mates at least, about the Naga issue. Although I suppose you're right, would we be getting there... GM, would we be getting there at like night there? Is that the case? If we left
You would get there in the evening, but it would be bright enough that it would still be daylight.
Well, how do we feel after the travel? We've been going on the road for quite some time, but I don't feel too worn down.
I feel absolutely fine.
I'm okay.
I do not mind either. We should be able to get that sorted today still then.
Let's finish up what we gotta do here in town and head on out.
I shall be waiting here.
On that note then, Jill step over back to the board and gesture towards Moonmorn. Could you point us to the person who deals with the guild business here, if there is such a person?
I would point you in the right direction, but it'd be behind the wall. Guild operations in Italian have slowed down with the Naga issues. The head of the guild here has headed on to Ferene. If you're wanting to send a message, I can do it.
I suppose that is the next best option. We have quite some dire news from the mountain range that we were hoping to disclose to the guilds and request for aid. Seems the Nagas are about to spread for the mountains and threatening to block the passage through.
Troubling news indeed. The mountains were a relatively safe haven from the river's passages. Don't want the north being cut off from the south. I can talk with the guildies here and send word over to Ferene. You said you had a missive?
We do, yes. She'll hand over the letter from... I'm forgetting names right now.
It'd be either Pharaoh or Den.
Yeah, I think it
Pharaoh.
was-
Okay, Pharaoh was the one who wrote. Yeah, Pharaoh.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll hand over the letter from Pharaoh. This is also on behalf of the Sheva tribe that lives in the mountains and requesting aid for them as well, since this issue is quite universal at this point, about to be quite universal at this point.
Will your group be spending the night here?
From the looks of it, we are going elsewhere for the evening, but we should come through here in the morning at the very least.
Then I'll have this missive sent as part of your room costs.
Aaron looks sad again at the mention of room costs.
Do you need more money, Aaron?
No.
Would you like?
There's
more money?
no special rooms here. You can just get group rooms. They are 2 people rooms.
There's no rooms with baths in them.
No, you have to go to the local bathhouse.
Oh man, okay. I didn't even realize that.
I thought we aren't staying the night if we're doing the mission.
Indeed, if we're leaving now, we could simply camp out for the night. I know it's not ideal, but I think we're in good shape.
If you are taking the carriage, you can go there and back in the same day, or the same travel.
Okay then.
Let's do that.
That's what I was hoping.
So how much for the rooms and house drink?
In total, it'd be 1 gil.
I'll front the cost.
You sure? Happy to split it.
That's quite alright.
Right then. No time at the present. Edwin will nod at the bicycles and then head out. Are these the same guys from the last place we went to as well, or are they
No, they're different.
still?
Before
just
we move on, I do have one more stop here, if that is alright.
Should be fine as long as it's not going to take too long. What about you two? Have you got anything else to do here?
Nope.
There you have it.
And Moonmar, could you point me towards a place where I could get jewelry repaired?
Are you looking for a metalsmith or some form of magical mending?
I suppose magical would be more durable.
If you're looking for magical means, I can do it.
That would be quite helpful. She'll dig out the broken necklace from her back and kind of show it to him. Do you believe you could repair this for me?
Certainly took the brunt of something dangerous.
It certainly did.
I could repair this. It'll cost 10 gil.
That sounds quite fair, and she'll pay up.
Mimon will, slowly and carefully slide the cloth closer to him, and he will cast Mending on it twice. At which point the cracks will form over, and returning it back to you, it looks good as new.
There's almost immediate change in Drasanka once the necklace is repaired. There was tenseness to her shoulders that was almost invisible, but now it's completely gone when she takes the necklace back and immediately puts it back on. It just gives a sigh of relief. Thank you kindly. This is quite important to me. It was given to me by someone very important. I would hate to lose it completely. Thank you.
There's no issue for me to do this. Just make sure it's better protected.
I shall endeavor to do so. Then she turns back to the rest of the group. Well, with that taken care of, I'm good to go if you are.
So am I.
Indeed, I'm glad. Well, I'm glad. Shall we?
Let's go.
With the directions given by Virasaf, are you just heading straight to the farm that's been overrun by the Zagnol?
Yeah.
And you are taking the carriage, yes?
Sure. Yeah. Do you need me to do a drive check?
No, just make sure I know where it is.
It's in the clouds, man.
I mean, you can have, permanent flying wagons. This is very expensive. Heading towards the west, you're able to come across the farm that Virasaf had spoken about. Surprisingly or not, you see no signs of smoke, nor no fresh scent of blood. As she did mention, the place had been overrun quite some time ago, as most had just been left to its own devices, as a lot of the guild members have been busy with Naga issues. As you flank around the farm, you try to find the best approach that wouldn't let your presence be known to the Zagnol too easily, as well as one that would be better as an approach for an attack. Many leaves and piles of dirt can be seen across the floor, as the place has been unkept and is rather untidy when compared to other establishments like this. Large dried pools of blood can be seen across the dirt, grass, and wooden fences, with some of the mud nearby a local stream also turned red. Several wooden bridges gap the very small ravine to the south, connecting to more parts of the farm, one of them being a watermill. Towards the north, you can see either overgrown or age-old vegetables, as well as several carts, carriages, and wagons. Nestled amongst those is the large red bull, whose horns shine in the sunlight and blood glistens on the floor at their hoofs. As far as you can tell, they've not noticed your approach, but that's going to change depending on how you continue that approach. As far as you know, as long as you're not using any flashy spells, you could cast stuff from here.
Can I just say, adorable. He's got little legs on his face.
Yeah, I noticed it too. It's so cute.
Seeing that thing, it's large size, right? It's quite big.
It is large, yes.
Okay. I don't think this is something we can just run in and fight. Do we have anything that we can use? Any spells or elixirs that we have?
Well, I'm about to activate my ring.
What about your trap card?
I forgot that with the Uno reverse card in the back.
Something like this thing might be more susceptible to magical attacks. Things that hit, well, I don't know, but it's large. Maybe it's easier to hit with something that penetrates its defenses, but maybe not so much with weaponry. Its hide is probably quite thick. And I can imagine the charge from that thing is not going to be very beneficial.
I don't have the much means of the way of magic, so I'll just hit it really hard.
Alright, Goku.
I was thinking about sneaking around the fences and stuff like that to try to get around it.
I can
Something
distract
similar.
it.
I can give some protection for those who wish for it.
I think Owl is certainly going to need it if you don't mind, Rosanka, possibly Zaire. I might stay a little bit back in case one of you gets hurt particularly hard.
As a reminder for stealth, you are in daylight, so you would need to begin and end your turn behind something that could hide you.
Okay.
All these fences are real.
All of the fences are real, though they're not fully painted. You would have to be prone against the fences to be hidden, but going prone is a free action.
And they're like, the
That's
ones
okay.
that we're next to are kind of broken, aren't they? They're not complete, they're shattered
Yes.
on that field there. Okay.
Before they get too far, I'll give both Sayer and Owl wind armor.
Oh, that's I need to know what that does for exactly.
There's deflection.
+2 deflection AC.
+2 deflection. Okay.
The unfortunate answer is I don't think many of us have stealthy abilities. So if you think you can get close and you have some way of gaining advantage, feel free, but unfortunately I have to agree with how we're not exactly the stealthiest group in the world. We have no way of gaining advantage here. Is there anything we can see that would give us some kind of advantage? Like, is there a way of, I don't know, luring it somewhere where it can't move as much?
Since it's large, it can move around most places here. You do know that some of the fences have been destroyed, so it has that capabilities. It would have issues crossing the wooden bridges to the south, as well as some of these like fenced areas only being 5 foot wide. However, they're only protected by wooden fences, so again, it could at least spend around destroying the fences to get through them. Anything else? Be up to your own thoughts. I mean, there are trees and little huts you could climb up if you have that ability.
Does this water look deep enough to mire it down in a little bit?
The water is not that deep; it's around 7 to 8 feet deep.
And I'm
It would slow it down, but it could easily stand up in it.
I'm assuming
Well, we
you
would be
have no
above
idea
it.
where it is yet.
We do. It's.
We saw it.
Yeah, we can see
Yeah.
it.
You probably can't see it from where you are. If you stand where I am, you can see it. Yeah, it's there.
Aha! Okay, if that's the case, right? What's people's plans? Is Zyron, you're going to try and sneak around a little bit?
Yeah, I think I would like to do that.
Because if so,
And-
Al's going to drink a couple potions, and she's planning to just distract it.
If you are planning on transforming Owl, you should probably have this, and I'll offer the Ring of Mage Armor.
Remind me what that does again?
It gives you mage armor for 1 hour. That's a move action.
Yeah.
Just
so if
you activate it and then you transform. You should still have mage armor on.
Okay. I'll take
Good.
that, and I might as well use it now because it lasts an hour.
Yep.
Metal VX is also just mage armor, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna drink my giant strength, which is a +4 con, and I'm also gonna drink my iron draft, which is a +4 shield AC.
Very nice.
Ooh, do you have any more of those?
I have 2, so I'll give an iron draft to 0.
Sweet.
If we
Now-
can. Seeing this, like this is good. If we can the 3 of us head to the right towards those fences, even if we can break through it or slow it down, and we can pelt it with ranged abilities. Now, if you try and bring it over this way, that would be ideal, if you can.
Hold on. I'm putting in my buffs at the moment. Explain it again, sorry.
That's fine. I was just saying, I don't know what you guys think, but I'll suggest that if us, as in the 3 of us who aren't doing the distraction, go like around here, where we can fire over these, but there is like that barrier between us and it. Don't know if it's got any ranged abilities, but I'm just assuming it isn't. If we can get there, it might be able to get through these, but it will take time doing it, and we can hit it with like touch spells and crossbow bolts and whatnot. But rather than just fight it melee, where I think it might fuck us up, frankly.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm also gonna, as my last thing to drink, is my Mima Meth. Gives me DR2 to bludgeoning, 5 fire resist, and immunity to bleed.
God damn, where are you hiding all this stuff?
I kept this stuff. You never know when you're gonna use it. Now it's a fight that I
Yeah.
can prepare for.
No. Sounds good.
And so right, you want me where?
Ideally, like, yeah, if we can go. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Drazenka and Zone, if you got a better plan. But like, if we want to go around here, stealth, or at the very least behind cover.
Okay, and then you want to shoot it from over the fence.
Yeah, like shoot and throw the defensive Zion. If you want to stealth around here, you could try and catch it off guard or something. If it's focused on Al, I don't know how, stealth and flanking work in here with like creeping up on something that's facing another way.
Well, Al's sort of thought is she's gonna transform and move pretty much straight to there. So she'll
Okay.
transform in her movement.
If you
That's
guys
fine.
want to stealth, you should do it on your own, and I'll go a little bit separate way on my own because I don't want to ruin your stealth with mine. Because I am not stealthy.
I need to check what my stealth is actually before I say this.
I'm not super stealth, but I am highly dex based.
I can say I don't actually have great stealth, honestly, so I might just do it from a distance, basically. But I think if we can use the terrain to our advantage, that might be quite beneficial.
Oh yeah, I don't actually have any points into stealth. I just have my dex.
Yeah, I've got a +2, but it's not great. I need to put points in it.
Right.
It's what I'm probably going to do with the retraining, honestly.
Al's gonna make sure she's dragoning up.
Alright, I'm going to attempt to stealth to that tree. And stay behind the tree till Al gets its attention.
Yep, and Al's gonna just pretty much run up 50 feet. Brah.
All right. If you
If I
move
had
to
a
there,
dragon growl, I would do it, but I don't have a dragon growl.
Edmund's already moved up. Is Drazenka moving up, or staying where you are?
She's moving up, just waiting for the other two to go first. If
Yeah,
they are
that's
trying to stealth.
I mean, they've got him now. Al's not being stealthy, so do what you want to do now.
stealth is dog shit, unfortunately. It will get better, but it's not great.
And
I mean,
roll them initiatives.
I was just fortunate enough to roll a 19.
Like it. This is bad music.
I rolled a 1.
Oh no.
Not like this.
You're gonna get improved initiative for EB training.
No.
Probably am, honestly.
Hey, look, Al's first. That never happens.
How's Deed first?
Okay, do we want Al going up, or do we want Al having it come to her?
Ideally come to you, so do you want to like breath it and move back, or something along those lines?
Doubtful her breath is going to reach that far.
I was
It's a
just
line.
about to look.
I think it's like
Can't
100
remember if my
feet,
breath
something
is
ridiculous.
60 feet or not.
Maybe it's
No,
later
not.
on, you get
It's
it
not
longer.
100 feet, yeah. So I'm just gonna roll it so I know what the range is.
Could just read it.
60-foot line.
It's not going to reach it.
It's not gonna reach it.
Yeah, because you'd have to move, do it, and then you'd be too far forward. So, up to you, man. You can either you can hold, you could move somewhere, you can yell at it.
Yeah, I'll hold my turn for when it gets closer.
So you're holding your turn till after it then.
Yeah. So basically, I was first and now I'm last.
You don't have to do that. You could just do it like.
No. It's what
Alright.
works.
I'm just saying, if you want to move backwards, it might be harder to do it from there if you get charged, because you'll get AO'd.
I'll be right. Maybe.
We don't have enough hero points to save you. You know that, right?
I mean, everyone has one. Edward.
It's just double checking something. Yep, so I will use Battlefield Inspiration. So that's my move. So everyone gets 8 temp. That should be everyone. Everyone should be 30 feet. Yeah. And then, is it a standard action to... You can't aim, can you, as a standard action? I think there's, like...
What do you mean by
yes,
aim?
Like, if I have a crossbow at the minute, I can't use that standard action to aim at the creature to increase my attack roll. I think that's a specific thing, isn't it?
No, that's an archer class feature.
In that case, I will...
You can
ready
use a
an-
standard to ready to fire at it, but that's
Yeah.
just readying.
That's fine, I'll just do that. I'll ready an attack when it gets within range, which is 80 feet.
Alright. Jazenka.
We'll move on. And use whiteout. So more temp HP to everyone.
Nice. 16, pretty good.
Come on, I'm almost at 100 health. Let's go. I'm at 83.
Zyron.
I am holding until it engages with Owl. Still in
Alright.
stealth.
Goes to the Zagnol. Let's go double check what it has. It is going to move its way down to here. Is that within range of Edwin? Yep, Edwin, you want to fight?
I hope everyone was ready for a really unimpressive crossbow ball.
You did some damage, probably.
Maybe.
The crossbow bolt soars through the air and it hits into the side of the hexagonal. It's a bit hard to tell from this distance, but it's stuck in it.
Alright, I did what I did. So do I move the initiative to yeah. Alright, cool.
The hexagonal is then going to have electricity surge throughout its body. As it shoots out a bolt of lightning at Owl. Owl, are you just immune to lightning damage?
I don't think I'm immune yet. I think I'm resistant. Let me just double check.
Last time just resistance of 30. I don't think you get immune later.
No, resistant to lightning 30.
Alright, what is your touch AC?
It's 9.
Alright.
Should be better than that now.
We have Mage
She
Armor.
loses AC for being a dragon. Mage Armor does not help for touch.
No.
It's only against incorporeals.
Don't get
Your
don't get
deflection.
spell armor. I should.
Does
have
the
my
deflection help?
in. Why is my deflection not in there?
Natural
Deflection.
armor doesn't help. Deflection
Wind
should.
armor, AC deflection. It's on there. Don't know why it's not fussing it. Oh no,
Yep.
no, it is in there. It's because my AC is lower because of Dragonborn.
Okay, fair enough.
So no, that is right.
Okay, one moment. The bolt of lightning courses across your body as you will take 36 lightning. So 6.
6.
Yeah, I'd be fucked from that. That's glad you worried about that.
Yeah, that's more than my normal health.
Just brushing it off.
Zyron.
Gonna try to move around the bush. Oh boy, it's too far away for me to see, or for me to affect right now. Yeah, I'm just gonna stay stealth. Do I need a new stealth roll
Yes.
since I moved? Okay, give me a second.
Alright.
And that's it.
Ow.
It hasn't come any closer.
Here it has.
Not by much. Zeren wants it to get even closer. I will breath weapon it and come a little bit back, I guess. Don't think
Alright.
Breath will get through it though.
Oh, that attitude. Oof.
Well,
Big,
He's
might
got
not be that fast.
resistance. He's got a half it, and then the resistance come through, so no.
The Zagnol tries to jump over it as if it's a ball trying to hind leg someone at the back. However, it doesn't jump high enough as you're able to zap it. However, you do know you're doing less than normal.
Hey, that's
Alright.
not bad.
It zaps me, I zap it, and I'll 5 foot back.
Good shit.
Your Zenka.
I'm going to use a point of faith to get put my cast level 1 point higher, so I can do ruin, and it gets extra missile because of that.
Nice.
All should be accounted for.
Pew pew.
Pew,
Pew
pew.
pew pew.
The darts of magical energy blast into it on both sides, as you can see it gets even redder of rage. Anything else?
Still where I am.
Edwin.
Okay. Everyone seems okay at the minute, so I'm going to shoot it again.
You fire yet another crossbow bolt as it hits into its back and sticks inside.
From this range, can I see if it's even bleeding from it or not?
It's red on red. Roll with perception.
Okay. I take that as a no, but I'll try anyway.
It's
Ew.
bleeding.
Oh, yeah, nice. Alright, speed up.
It's daytime. I'm going to assume you have your sunglasses on.
That's true. But no, that's it for me. Stay where I am.
Goes to the Sagnol, who is now going to be charging down onto Al. As it rears up its tusks, aiming for the face of Al. Sadly, not the face of Bo. Al, is your AC 24?
It is.
Nice.
Alright, the Zagnol has its front tusks pierce into your chest as blood gushes across Drzenka's blue gown. As you will take 18 of piercing.
Is that just one attack, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. 17. Thank you.
And then go to 0.
I'm gonna move over to like here. Oh, that's not quite far enough. I'm gonna have to move down. Is that gonna get me hit?
Roll stealth.
Very good stealth.
I fumbled my perception, so it doesn't notice you, but it will notice you when you end your turn there, so you can do something now. It will be flat-footed.
Nice.
Awesome. I'm going to I'm gonna whack it.
Stab it.
It's not a full round attack, so I can't add extra attacks to it with my points yet. But I'm just gonna whack it.
You could precise strike it though, right?
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to do.
Nice.
I am not flanking currently, right?
You are because dragon form.
Yeah.
And hunting
You're
back.
You're my hunting pack. So you
So
can
it's flat.
flank it as long as I'm adjacent to it.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so it's flat-footed and you get flanking.
How
Solid.
dare you forget about your synergy?
Yeah. That's why I took it. Oh, damn.
Damn. Wait, you have sneak attack?
Yeah, I don't remember what I have it from. I can look it up.
No, I'm just saying that's cool.
Three points off of max. Coming around to the sides, almost as if you're following this thing's chart. It's very corridor visions into Al. And as it stabs your friend, you give it a lovely pierce into the hind. As you pull out your blade, blood gushes across the floor. Hard to tell what blood is it or the things it's devoured. As far as you can tell, you did the amount of damage you believed you were going to do.
Sweet.
Good to see you got your precise strike and your sneak attack. Damn. Didn't realize you get both.
Ow.
He's got a full attack. Does Drazinka want me to 5 foot anywhere, or happy with me to stay here?
Just do what you want. I don't mind. I got
Not your
plans.
mom.
Didn't know if you wanted
Look
me to
out.
say
I'm not your mom.
Didn't know if
I'm also
you wanted me
younger
to
than you.
protect you or not.
I'll be fine.
Alright. Yeah.
Is that the noise you make on the bite?
Yeah. Didn't taste good.
You chomp at the air and go, eh. And then you let loose of everything else. Do you have your flanking bonus in there?
Yep.
Yeah, bonus +2. Alright. The claws will hit. However, the both wings will miss. And then we'll go to Drazinka.
Whiteout will end, however, I will redo it. So, I was the only one who's lost anything, so you get those 8 temp back from Whiteout.
Nice.
Nice.
So they have to make the fort save as well now because they're in range.
Yes, now the thing Bull has to make a fortitude save for the slow.
I'm not going to answer the DC, I pass.
Okay. And then I'm just gonna move closer. I'm gonna use a Swift to cast Saber.
Alright.
And then move up closer. And that's it.
If you wanted flanking, you need to be one to the left.
Then I'll go there then.
Alright. Edwin.
Edwin will move to here and will prepare a triage because I can't prepare a 4-round action for the first person who gets hit by the creature to triage them. So as they get hit, I will triage them.
Alright. Goes to the Zagnol, as they're going to have electricity surge around them again.
I'm guessing it doesn't, but does it provoke at all?
There's a chance of it provoking. This one does not.
Fair enough. Void
Let me
Dream.
double check this. The Zagnol has the electricity form into its hooves as it smashes its front one down and the hind ones afterwards, sending out shockwaves that dance across the grass. I need everyone to roll me a reflex save, please. Ow, you don't need to bother.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
For everyone else, it's bad.
Good news is it won't do at least over more than 30 damage.
Yeah. The problem is all of our health is pretty much under that. I know we've got 10 HP actually. We should be.
I got
okay.
a temp HP.
As if just knowing the electricity dancing across the ground, Zairin and Edwin jump in unison and are able to avoid it. Owl just nestles amongst the lightning strikes. However, Drazenka, being so close to it, was not prepared and is not as dexterous as her allies. As the lightning crawls up your legs and zaps you for 22.
I will do my ready to action.
So 3.
Yeah, if you were statics, you're not anymore.
Who is it you healed then?
Drazenka, because she's the only one who got hurt.
I mean, I didn't get her that much because I still had the temp HP.
But no, it's just the only person. I haven't ready in action. I can't do anything else about it.
With that, I basically just lost my temp, but I'm still at full.
Zaire.
I'm going to use my special points, and I'm going to do a double attack.
If only you have the feat or the teamwork feat for additional bonuses for everyone flanking.
Is it Gango? I think it's Gango.
Probably gang up, yeah.
Yeah, that's. I don't remember.
You don't have it.
Yeah, we don't have that one. And there's also the other one that makes it +4 instead of +2. That's also nice.
Outflank. Yeah, that's a solid one.
Wow.
Sadly, as you are dancing around the lightning, it is throwing off your saber arm as you try and strike out, but you strike too short as you're on your back leg as you do it, and both will miss. Ow.
As a swift action, she's going to spend 1 round of her rage to activate Battle Cry. So everyone gains a +1 damage for 8 rounds.
Nice.
Solid.
Pretty curious what that'd sound like as a dragon. Pretty fucking scary.
Well, it's a roll. And then she is going to full attack.
You're too busy roaring with your mouth to be able to bite it. However, the first claw will hit. The second will miss. The first wing will miss. However, the second wing will hit as you batter down this thing's face, and it will fall to the floor.
Nice.
Isn't it amazing how easy things are when you're well prepared?
I mean, you drank like 4, 5 potions.
I know, it's good of me, wasn't it?
I think you're right, but it's also pays dividends that we've worked together as a team so well. If we fought this thing a few, even days ago, we wouldn't have survived the experience. Are these chickens alive, by the way? Or they're just chilling?
No, they're just a part of the map.
That's alright.
I mean, I was expecting for the thing to charge through the chicken coop, but I was gonna riot if the chickens got hurt.
Absolutely, like, take levels in Berserker.
I was going to
Following
start
this.
Or the chickens.
the horns to try and rip them off.
I'll help her with that, but hopefully with more finesse.
I'll just see
roll
them doing
survival.
this and say, could you not just take
She's
the
just
head off with
ripping
your
it
axe? God damn.
Pulling on the horns, you're able to crack the part where it connects to the skull, and you take the horns.
I think if we...
I'll hand it straight to Edwin. There you go.
Edwin probably, like, visibly goes, and barely holds onto the horn.
Horns.
If he's got
Are you-
both, he probably falls over.
Are you sure you do not want to hand them over to Virasat yourself, Al? You're the one wanting to make an impression, are you not?
Please take this off me.
And she'll
Okay.
pick up the horse from Edwin.
She'll pick up both horns and just like hold them with one arm on her shoulder. Let's go.
Hold on, you're bleeding. And I'll,
Where? Oh, here.
And over there, and right under your armpit. I don't. How'd you get there?
Mm.
and you'll heal 21.
Oh, better. Let's go.
Well, hold
Oh,
on, is it?
My
Anything
my
around
initial
you?
sneak attack worked, but I didn't do very much after that.
It was very effective, though, Zaire, I must say.
Be close to 20 damage.
Sorry, before you leave, these carts, are they farming equipment, just to clarify? They just
It's farming equipment, yeah.
Okay, cool. That's fine. Just I don't want to waste time if they're just random stuff. Cool.
Do you want to try checking out the house or anything?
It may be worth doing, just in case someone might be alive in there.
Yeah, let's see if we can
We
help
could do a walk
somebody.
around, but according what Wirsart said, this thing has been here for, what, days? For quite a while now.
It's a slim hope, but if you don't mind, I won't be a minute. If there's no one in there, we simply leave.
Like I said, it's fine to do a walk around.
I take it a lot of this blood is dry. Like you said, it's dry blood. It's not fresh.
It's dried
even
on.
Yeah. Does this place have a door? If so,
Yes. You don't climb through the windows. There are doors. However, searching through the huts, they're all full of dust. They've been abandoned for quite some time.
Drazenka, you're right. Sorry. We should get going. Thanks for coming, Sarah.
Yeah, no problem. I always want to help somebody out.
Oh no. Well, thank you. Right, let's get going then, shall we? Drazenka hoovering up the experience orbs. We're over there.
Somebody's got to pick him up or else he'll just disappear.
So she was just Gandalf the whiting us, beating the big boss to level up and leave us all behind.
Yeah. Alright, with the horns, you leave the farm.
Ow, I'm surprised you didn't want to take the head back to the Colourful Bard. It would be a fantastic trophy.
Nope, they asked for horns. That's what I gave them.
Fair enough.
And with the last spurt of today's travel, you return to Natalian.
I will put both of these horns on the chair right next to the dragon. There you go.
Wonderful. Nice to see you are capable.
It was pretty easy.
I take it your allies are quite the ones to grant boons.
Please. Unless the rest of you want to fight on our side of seconds, I personally would prefer not to.
No, thank you.
I'm with them.
To the case of rewards. I could grant you free yours now, and then Al and I can move to the outside of the city.
Sounds good to me.
That would be ideal if you don't mind.
Virasov then charges an electricity pulse around her. Are Edwin, Drazenka, and Zairin accepting it?
There's
Yeah.
no way to identify it, right? It's like an ability, it's not a spell.
It's an ability, so no.
I've got no reason to not trust them, so yeah, sure.
Yeah, she'll accept it.
I'll take it too.
Alright. It will end up being the same thing for ours as well, it's just yours is going to be via training rather than via electricity. So everyone can make a choice of retraining options that total 10 days. So, for example, you could have 3 uses of the HP retraining, or you could change 2 feats, or you can combine them and have 1 feat retrained and gain 1 HP. Or any other options that would lead to a total of 10 days.
I think I'm only going to use... I could try and roll HP, because I'm pretty sure I rolled a 1 once.
You don't re-roll, you just gain 1.
Oh, okay.
So as long as we have 3 HP off of our max, we can use all 3 for
Yes.
that. Okay.
You can get a max amount of HP allowed by your dice. So if you're 3d8, you can only get 24 in total from class.
If I wanted to change a medical talent, would that be the full 10 days? Because that is a class feature. I know it's 5 days to retrain a class feature.
That answers your question.
Alright.
Yes, those are just examples. You can do the class features and whatnot as long as it's within the 10 days.
And it's a 1 hit point per use, right?
Yeah, 1 hit point per use. So if you want all 3, you'd get 3 extra health.
Perfect, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm also going for the hit points.
I mean, if you know what you're getting, type it in the chat. It's the same for you as well, Jester. Yours is just for your training, which isn't going to take that long.
He's on a training arc, he's going to come back stronger.
She's going to come back slashed and bruised. But that was simple.
Yep.
Alright, does Al want to go through the rigmarole of a fight, or are we just going to see that you lose?
Yeah, she wants to fight. She wants to put up a good effort.
Do you care for a map, or do you just want to do it here via tokens?
I
Token
can
actions.
do via tokens if you want. Saves you the
Alright.
trouble map.
Are you buffing up beforehand? Because all of your buffs from the Zagnol fight would have gone.
Yeah. Not much I'm going to buff myself up with, but no, she's a raw strength kind of girl when it comes to sparring. So she'll just go in her dragon form to fight.
Rolled really well. The song will start. By letting loose with her own set of melee weapons. Your AC's 14, yeah?
It's terrible without the buffs.
I'd say it was 24 earlier.
Yeah, had a lot of buffs.
She will... Oh, she doesn't even have an attacker for its claws for some reason. She will hit you 6 times. One of these is a crit.
6 times, one of them.
Wow, I thought you wanted 1 health!
50.
Unless you have DR.
Yeah, a little bit of DR, but not much. Jesus!
She had a bite, 2 claws, 2 wings, and a tail slap.
fucking tail swipe doesn't come till later. Well, might as well limit break, so she'll double all of her.
Rage bonuses or whatever.
That's it. Yeah, rage bonuses. I really couldn't limit it. And it's her turn to absolutely let loose. But she'll swift action, let out battle
You
cry
don't.
once more.
Your swift was your limit break.
Oh wait, yeah, my swift was my limit break. No, it's fine, so she'll just full attack.
All of your attacks will miss. She'll then hit you with a bite and a claw, but pretty sure you're going to go down with these two. I don't think your TR is that high, but then you did double it.
Can't remember if I had my die hard or something like that.
Are you gonna die hard? Because
Not die hard.
she
Sorry.
can't revive you.
No. Ferocity.
Are you gonna like surrender if you're gonna be awake?
Please don't die off screen. I can't help you.
She will surrender. Much to her disgust, she doesn't surrender.
At which
Would
point,
she-
Al would return with slashes and bruises.
Would you have wanted audience for that fight or nah?
She doesn't care.
You're welcome to. I don't know if Al would want you not.
No, she don't care. If you want to be there, you can be there.
Because I think Rasenka would have been like interested in seeing the fight.
Zaire was cheering for the dragon.
Which one?
The real one.
Whoa! Do you mean real one? Fight and talk. I may be like on death's door, but I can still knock you down a few sizes.
Edward will just sort of wait and see if Al does want the healing orb. Like, this is a
I mean,
classic thing.
Immediately when the fight is over, I'll just dump all my charging charge from my belt on her.
I'll just look at Miraseth and say, good fight. Don't even think I hit you.
You came close. I felt the tension in my scales. Perhaps a rematch will be in order when you've finished your own pilgrimage.
Sounds good. Maybe when I've finished my mission, I'll come find you again.
And it seems from that battering of your body, you can take a bit more damage now.
Yeah. She'll turn around and probably see Drazenko after unleashing her Cure and outcharging go. Oh. You saw that.
Would you prefer me? I haven't.
No. It's in the size of her? No way was I gonna win. It was just good practice.
That it was.
Go, Viren. Your turn. See if you can take that many hits.
Huh? No, that's not my job.
Oh, is somebody turned into a little scaredy cat?
Are you looking for another fight, Al?
Sure, I can go another round.
We do have somewhere to be. I would prefer we did that as a 4, not a 3.
I mean, we're getting ready for bed now, so... I mean, I could just put her to sleep early.
Edward just looks at the two of you.
Put me to sleep early.
Well, you can fight if you want, but I can assure you now I'm not going to be healing you today. If that's your choice.
It's fine. If Zirin wants the odds in his favor, he can have it if he wants.
How do you want to start it?
Precisely just like that. I just see the turtle come. I'm just waiting for the Mortal Kombat music to come on. Round 2.
You're not transformed right now.
I said the same way the fight went last time. I was transformed last time. You didn't establish the rules.
Okay.
No, I didn't roll a 17 this time, though, did I?
Well, if I see you transforming, I'm gonna take a drink real quick. I have a metal VX that I can use.
Al was sort of just laughing at dragon form, even though she can't actually, well, you can't understand it. Just growling.
How far apart do we start?
How far apart did we start with the Viraset fight?
I'm just assuming you're next to each other since you're both melees.
Alright, next to each other's fine.
Alright, I'll use up a temporal point.
How many you got? I don't think break anymore. What?
There's that temporal point back.
When you double crit?
2019, 2020, but yeah.
Maybe he doesn't get that sneak attack though. No, you cannot flank on me in my rage form.
I wasn't gonna try to. It's just part of the attack macro.
So that's 3, 20. Well, you almost one-shot me.
2 shot, but yeah.
Is that it for you?
Yeah, that's it.
I was going to say, where's my crit? But it doesn't crit the crit. He's a Dexy boy, he has high AC.
Yeah, I know that none of those are gonna hit me, but I'm gonna parry and riposte the first one anyways.
The crit will, 'cause it's a natural 20.
There's no natural. Oh, the wing attack. Okay.
Yeah, the wing attack. But you can parry the first one.
Nope.
You cannot.
No.
Oh, you have a weird spacing in there. It didn't add your bonus.
What is the bonus plus?
It's +9, so that'd be 15. So it does parry, but obviously they don't hit you back. But no, that's 7 also doesn't have it, so 16. Does 16 hit you?
Yeah, I don't know what happened with that, but
16 would hit.
Yeah, so you would take the damage versus normal damage. So 10, which might knock you out before you get to hit him.
But technically I'm ferocity, so I wouldn't be. So I'd still take a hit.
Is your ferocity once a day or just any time you go below?
Normally once a day, but it might be different for you.
Nope, once per day. But I didn't use it with.
You went to -10 and then you surrendered. That's why I was asking if you're going to be surrendering or going unconscious.
Well, then technically she has gone unconscious.
Good night, Al.
I swear there was a sleep one on here. Can't find it.
For goodness sake.
I'll do non-lethal on that last one just to not actually murder her.
You wouldn't murder her. She's got. a
You would
big
also
health pool.
miss.
I'd have to be
It's
minus
-4.
22 to actually die. Oh, there is a sleeper. I just couldn't see it.
I'll drop those on Al. Use
I thought you said you weren't going to be healing her.
Yeah.
If I see her actually go down, I don't think he'd really sit there and go, yeah, that's your own fault. He's just going to get up with that word and basically go to bed.
That
Al's
seems
always
like a point for
rake
me.
her hair and she'll go. Consider it a point if you want. Next time, maybe fight me at full strength.
Yeah, that might have been a little bit more fair.
You are the one who initiated this, is Al.
She's already walking away. She chose not to hear that.
Is the party heading to sleep?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
Yep.
Already sleeping.
They shall hasten to the next. Remember to reset your daily usage and charges. Sleeping heals your level, so 4.
How do you need some patching up? I can use the belt for it.
Yep.
What I can't heal is your pride, though. What was that about? And I'll start doing it.
My pride isn't hurt. He's the one that beat a woman when she was already down.
You did challenge him to combat, but I don't think that was the right idea on his part either. I'm more talking about the dragon. What have you got to prove?
Nothing to prove. I just want to be strong. Gotta fight a dragon. Especially if I want to fight Kathura.
Oh yes, of course. That dream of yours. Well, you are quite strong already, but well, I suppose the only way you get stronger is through harder fights. Just do me a favor and don't, shuffle off before we do what we need to do. And also, we need you.
I know you do.
Well, I can see that your humility has not been damaged at all.
Humila what?
Never mind. I'm glad you're still in one piece at least.
Okay.
So we've got everything taken care of here, right? We can just head on to the next town?
I believe so.
Yes, I think so.
We did what we could with that missive, so nothing much more we can do about that.
Good. Let's move on. Are we in need of money?
I mean, we have money in our group account.
We do.
While we're here, can I just check the lockbox? It has been tampered with, and the seeds are still in there, aren't they? The money for the seeds, sorry.
Wrong perception. You haven't checked in quite some time. Yeah, your stuff's still in there.
All right. Yeah, that's about it, really.
Is Al just peering over Edwin's shoulder?
Pretty much. Just want to know what he's looking at.
Do we all need perceptions?
Is everyone looking into the lockbox on top of the carriage?
No.
Is the party heading northways, or are you going to say something?
I was just going to say, I suggest either here or at the next town we get the cart repaired. The mountain travel was quite difficult, and I don't know about you, but there's certainly more splinters on the wheels than I remember them being.
If you want to get anything prepared, Natalia seems like a good place for it.
Indeed, and I don't think the repairs will take too long. If you're all okay, if we can take that out of the group loot. This thing's been taking us this far, I'd hate for it to break down when we're so close.
That
If
is
you
what
want,
group
you
fund is for.
could have had that done in your in-rest. It'll just cost 80 gross.
Yeah, I can pay that directly. We don't even use his group loot for that. Just as like a touch-up, because it's pretty a bit battered at this point. But no, that was it. Just that suggestion. Good to go.
Alrighty. Party heads on their way northwards. Heading northways, you're able to make good time as you get to the small town of Ilmut. It has relatively strange stone walls surrounding it for such a small settlement. Though it's possible it has an extra bit of protection as the first stop before Fort Mock. Several adventurers can be seen walking the streets, as well as better armoured guards, though you can see them kind of in battalion movements as they head north up to the fort itself, as well as a few off in the distance coming down and going into nearby houses, which you could assume is either theirs or like a group building for them to be resting in. The town isn't overly bustling, though it is more alive than most others of its size. What's the party going to be doing here?
It certainly seems to be... interesting, actually. What's our plan? Simply stay the day, or move on? This place seems like it has a lot of things. Do we want to buy anything to prepare? Do we know what... I mean, out of character, sorry, do we know what is lying ahead of us that we need to prepare for? Like, what's beyond Fort Mock? Or in it?
As much as what your map details to you, unless you want to roll knowledge geography for anything in particular. Well, be knowledge local.
It seems like quite nice.
If we need anything to prepare further north, I believe that should be done at Fort Mock proper.
Possibly.
I imagine.
Sorry, go on.
I imagine they know more about what lies beyond the walls than down here.
True. I'm curious as to why they need a fortress there. It seems like there's a lot of bandits and outriders up there, but Astalia and many of the other places are... well, they have a reputation for being quite peaceful. It may be worth us getting a bit more experience before we head beyond the wall. What do you think? And of course, I fucking nat 20 the knowledge level.
No, that was me.
Of course, you nat 20 the knowledge level. My bad. Sorry.
I did say you need to like ask me something specific if you want to do knowledges.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I had children in my ears. I apologize.
Well, you go first, Sarah. I'll go after you.
How dare you have offspring?
Let's see. I can't think of anything right this second. Give me a little bit.
What did Edwin want to know?
I was going to ask, is there is there still a strong bandit presence beyond the wall, or is it more down here?
Beyond the wall, no. Anything past the northern Fort of Mock is very well defended. The only bad issues they would have are like very rare occurrences. Most of the stuff's going to be on the southern side, and if they are on the northern side, very close to the wall.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to ask about any local threats that are not Nagas, or anything that we might be able to help with in the area.
Mostly bandits and thieves, as well as creatures from other planes of existence. Mostly Fae and daemons, but nothing that you wouldn't already know.
Do we have access to a guild board job thing here, right? Job board.
At Ilmet, no.
Oh boy, okay. Does anybody in town have any jobs that they need done?
Are you going to be asking around?
Sure.
All right, roll me diplomacy.
I'll do the same then.
I rolled it.
Nope.
I don't know where it went. Oh, there it is. So that'd be 21.
It would be counted as Scavenger info. Are you making mention of Fort Mock at all in your questioning, or are you just asking if there's any local issues you could help with?
Yeah, the second one. Any local issues we could help with, or maybe even anything on the way to Fort Mock, but not necessarily anything like about Fort Mock in particular.
All right. Asking around town. Surprise, surprise, there have been some local thieves stealing some items. As you'll know, that a group of thieves have attacked the General Traders building at night. While some of them have been apprehended by security, they had backup and scouts. And you are tasked with tracking down the 5 remaining thieves and bringing back what they stole. You are free to kill the thieves, but if you bring them back alive, you'll be rewarded based on the number. The reward just for getting the stuff back and dealing with them is 1,000 gil.
think we might be able to help with that one.
Very possibly.
I'll bring that back to everybody and I'll ask them what they think.
My concern is, can we bring them back alive? I can heal them, but it's a case of we'd have to restrain them.
Don't we have like manacles somewhere?
No, but I'm sure we could buy some.
We have rope.
Indeed. I'd be willing to hunt down some thieves, however. A bit of extra money in our pockets could help, and also a bit of experience might help us as well. We've been moving forward at quite a rapid rate. How long have we got, sorry, actually left?
It's on the left side. You're on day 23 of 90.
Yeah, we should be fine. I would be up for it. What do you all think?
I concur. It should be alright.
Ow.
If you do want to get manacles, the common one's at 15 gil, and they have a DC 30 escape artist check, whereas the masterwork are 50 gil and DC 35.
Yeah, taking the job.
If we get 4 sets of common manacles, that doesn't put us back too much in the group loop, but it'd be very hard to get out of them. What do you think?
You're only gonna use manacles on 4 of the 5 people.
Oh, they're 5? Sorry, I thought it was 4.
It's 5 that you have to track down.
I'd suggest we buy 5 sets if we have the money for it. Do we need to
I'm on the
stock up
masterwork.
on... normal. I don't think we need masterwork.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Do we need to stock up on feed and food as well while we're here? We have been travelling for some time.
A lot of the time you've been ending up at inns, so I don't know if you've used that many.
Up in towns and stuff, so actually I haven't updated it with feed or anything or rations because normally it's put in chat.
Because we've been staying. No, that's fine.
The last time we
10 feed
like camped up.
rations.
Last time we camped up was when we first met Birsarth.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
After that, it's been Natalia and now Ilmet.
That's fine. Well, yeah, if we could buy those, so that'll be 5 times 15, so it'll be 75 gil. We should be fine with that, right? Group loot wise. Jaster, keeper of the treasury.
So for 5 manacles, yeah.
Yeah, 5 manacles is 75 gil. Quick maths. Alrighty. Let's go and find out who these people. Yeah, we're gonna have to gather some information, I guess, because it's fairly vague at the minute, isn't it?
You know the place that they stole? You would need to use survival to try and find which directions they went.
Well, this seems very topical for Ao and Drazenko, if you wouldn't mind taking the lead on this.
Not at all.
Sure thing.
Looking around the local general store, you are able to pick up the tracks of the thieves as they seemingly went southeast from Gilbert. You could get there with the rest of your travel today, however, you would need to either force march your chocobos or rest in the forest after dealing with them, or before, depending on how you want to deal with it.
I think we have enough time. We don't need to push the chocobos, if possible. Let's see what we deal with. If it's urgent enough, we can push them if need be. Agreed?
If we too much apprehend them, however, we have to rest. We should either double up our watches, if we do have them as captive.
That is true. If they are captive, we're better off bringing them back faster. I don't like hurting the birds, but we do have methods of mitigating that. You might be right. I don't like the idea of, even with the manacles, they may have some way of getting away. We don't know who they are or what they have. Let's try and apprehend them first. See what we're dealing with.
Yes, let's start with that.
You owl just fucking biting one of them in half.
Make no promises.
Heading towards the thieves, we shall have our break here.
Alright.
And I shall be right back.
That's alright. Andrew, are you going to use fainting much with Zarin or no?
I don't think that quartzers are as good at that as regular fencers.
As we go. This corrects me if I'm wrong here, Zarin, in a minute, but you're more like brute, many attacks, stab stab.
Yeah, I actually don't get very many attacks.
You get a few.
Alrighty. As the party is scouting out the location of these thieves, they're able to come to parts where the forest is a bit more thick, though so is the tracks across the grassy floor. A small river does rush towards the southeast, though it's not too deep, around 5 to 7 feet. It'd be very hard for Nagas to really be hiding in there, but they could still swim across it. But being so close to the fort itself, as well as a few other settlements that are geared towards defending against Nagas, it'd be very rare to see them here. As you come up to this point, however, it's now going to be a question of if the party are buffing at where they are now, and if they are going to be stealthy going forwards, as the tracks are getting fresher the more you follow them.
I would love to stealth, I'm just bad at it for now.
I would definitely like to use my ring.
No, suggest we're out to do the same.
Because that lets me use that for an hour.
I've used it.
I can try to be sneaky.
It may be best if these thieves bolt, we may have trouble finding them. But unfortunately, the rest of us won't be too good at it.
You're talking a bit too quiet there.
I was just saying that going quiet would be good, but we don't know if they're going to run if we get too close. Let's try and... We have to decide now, do we blitz it or do we go slow and steady? I like the idea, Zaire, of stealth, but you're going to be okay on your own. We'll have to follow from a distance.
I mean, As I just proved to Al yesterday, I think I can take care of myself a little bit.
If anything, if they spot us too early, they might run, but if we get too close, they might opt for a fight instead.
Indeed.
Especially if I'm caught and they only see me.
What's Al's input? You're muted, Jester.
Sorry. I've got no stealth, so I'm gonna just walk up. You can get closer if you want, but I'm with Jazenka. You don't want them to run. It'd be better if they stay for a fight, 'cause then we can just knock them unconscious.
Let's keep that in mind then.
Iron is going to try to move from cover to cover and be relatively stealthy.
Mm-hmm. As Al's is walking forward.
Hold up now, just a moment. Let him go forwards.
Let me know how many stealth checks you might need.
I need
me.
another one. Give it to me.
Nice.
You asked for it.
Mm-hmm. All right. You can move again if you wish.
Which way are we supposed to be going?
Do we know which way the tracks are going?
Southeast.
Now it's
Well, I
just
don't know
one
that.
in the sky. And then she'll point to southeast where the tracks are.
Oh, shoot.
As you turn around the corner, you will come face to face with a Mithra going through a bag.
Do I need another stealth check to see if they notice me yet?
They see you.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna like turn around to Edwin at this point and go, I can't see him anymore. Do we now move or do I still stay still?
Well, hold on. Does Zyrid say anything, or?
As soon as I see that I'm noticed, I'm like, oh no.
Okay, now we go.
I mean, I can't see him, so I probably see when he takes his blade out.
This is why I don't trust him.
Edwin, did you improve your initiative?
I did.
Okay.
Did with the retraining.
I was like, I used to have the highest bonus. I don't know how that changed.
Yeah, that's what I've literally just got it.
Everyone got really low initiative.
Yeah.
We sure did.
We're as surprised as they are, apparently.
Yeah. All right. As that fella shouts over to his comrades, they shall move on around.
Just realised what we should have picked up.
So this fella comes around here. And it's going to swipe out at Siren.
Am I able to try to parry that?
You would be counted as flat-footed.
Like, I don't think I get an attack of opportunity if I'm flat-footed.
No.
Not without combat reflexes, which you might have. Don't know.
I do actually have combat reflexes.
That's only... You don't have your immediate action to do the parry, though.
Okay.
What is your flat-foot AC?
I believe it's the same as my regular AC. 1 second. Uh, 20.
Alright, he will stab out with his own rapier, which is much thinner than your S-stock, and miss.
Wait, so with no dex, it's 20? God damn.
Yeah. With Dex, it's 24 right now because of mage armor. When I had all the buffs on earlier, I was up to 29.
Alright, fair enough. No dex
Yeah,
to
but-
dodge, the man still attack. Oh shit, it's me. I heard noise, so I'm gonna go to here. Still can't see shit.
If Edwin had gone forwards, I rolled a crit on your passive's perception, so you would have seen them.
Damn. I'll just move to here, and then I'll yell to Jazenka and Owl. There's one to the south of me fighting Zaire, and that's speed up.
Okay.
Siren.
Well, might as well take care of the threat in front of me. I'm gonna go ahead.
Are
and
you
use...
doing non-lethal?
I don't know how strong these guys are. I don't know what I should do. Can I try to do a knowledge to see how relatively strong these people are?
No. The only way you'd be able to tell how strong someone is by their gear. And you don't have detect magic.
No, I don't. Do they have any special materials or anything like that?
All of their gear is the mundane materials. This fella has a master rapier, and they are wearing a hide shirt.
I am going to try to be safe about it, and I'm going to go ahead and do everything non-lethal.
Alright, it's a -4 to your attack rolls.
Okay.
You can do your thingies, though.
As
Yep,
for
thank you.
precision damage, you can't do sneak attack non-lethally. I don't know about your other precision stuff, though.
Edwin, what thingies are you talking about?
Quartzes. I think you can use temporal points to increase your attack. You can.
Yeah, I can double my attack if I use a full round attack action. Yes, I can do that. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do 2 attacks this turn. You said -4 to my attacks?
Yes.
Ooh, not great.
Trying to hit this guy with the flat of your ass stock. You are sadly unable to hit. The Mithra that spotted you is going to be pulling up their bow and firing it at you.
Deflect
I
that motherfucker.
do have deflect arrows.
Yeah, boy.
I just have to look up how it works.
You just deflect the first one.
Oh,
Alright,
that's-
so you can choose once per round to deflect an arrow. You need the other feats for any more. So do you want to try and deflect this? I'll say try.
Yes.
Do you want to deflect this or not?
Yes, please.
Okay, you deflect the arrow. Another fella is making his way downtown to here, and is also going to be firing an arrow at Zyron.
And I believe I have to determine which one I want to try to deflect before the attack roll is made, so I don't get to know
Yes.
if they hit me or not. So that's unfortunate.
However, this one will miss. This fellow over here is gonna spend his time. He's just gonna have to move to, well, double move to there. Ow.
I'll double move to there.
Zenka.
Stop moving there. Still too far away from anything fun.
I mean, Ruin has the range.
Just double move down to get closer, and for my swift, I'm gonna give Zaire and the blessing for attack rolls.
Alright.
So Zaire has +2. What was it? Divine bonus to attack rolls.
Nice.
Sacred.
Another hume is moving around. This one 5 steps to here. Zaire can be flanked, yes?
Don't believe so. That was Blessing of the Faithful, right?
Yes.
You have Uncanny Dodge at 5th as a fencer, but not now.
I have. Oh, I don't have Uncanny Dodges now. Okay. I thought I had it already.
Unless
Are you
roll
going to
5.
attempt to parry?
Of course. How many attacks does he have?
Just the one.
Okay, then yeah, I'll just try to parry this one. I am not going to be doing non-lethal on this.
Okay. You fail to parry.
Did that mess up again?
No, 3 + 9 is 12. You just rolled a 3.
I just wanted to make sure because it was weird last time.
However, their attack will miss you.
Oh boy. Hey, that doesn't. Oh, I forgot the bonus from sacred thing that I just got. So that should be 2 more than that.
Then you will parry.
Sweet.
And if it's also +2 on the attack, you will also hit.
Nice.
Excellent. Yeah, I just I clicked the buff for my regular attacks, but that doesn't go onto my stinking power cards for some reason. I don't like it.
Edwin.
Okay, so Edward will just yell out, "Where are the archers?"
In the trees.
Yeah,
Or behind the trees.
I'll point with my S-stock towards this, behind this guy.
I will. Owl is a little bit after me, aren't they? Yeah. I'll try and run interference, and I'm gonna go. So that's 15, 20, 25. They've just got bows out.
Yes.
Okay. I will go to there then. So do they try and kick me as an ALO?
I'll show you the distance for that.
If I
It's
double, I
30 to
can.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, if you're doubling, yeah, sure.
That was-
No,
yeah.
they don't kick you.
No, it's fine. I was going to move basically as fast as I can. I'll probably go to there then. Let me move it up.
Now they kick you.
Alright.
Siren.
Alright, I seem to be doing just fine right now. I am going to go ahead and just do a precise strike on the dude on my left. Not going to be doing it non-lethal. This does include the bonus.
You stab through that guy's shoulder. However, they are still standing. Yeah. Is that
I
it?
want them dead, just hurt. Yes.
Goes to his archers. This one's going to 5 step to here. I'm just going to shoot at Edwin. Edwin, you are hit in the side with an arrow for 10. So the one is also going to 5 step back and do the same. And hits Edwin for 8. Edwin, as these arrows dig into you, you feel as if your legs and arms are being impaired, as you currently have a -2 to your attacks. The one on the other side of Zion is going to attempt to hit him
How many times?
once. You are able to parry as you return it back to them. Now we go to Al.
I've already heard him. Don't kill him.
She was gonna crack this one over the head non-lethally. She was gonna use her axe as a bat. I can't do that, can't I?
Yeah, -5 to the attack roll. -4 to the attack roll. Oh! Are you sure you don't want to be killing them?
Whack.
Let's calm this guy up. You critically non-lethal this guy over the head, as you definitely hear a few cracks in their neck as they hit the floor unconscious.
Oops. I might have hit him too hard. I heard a few things crack.
Drazenka.
I'm going to do a whiteout. Can't see what they are, but within 30 feet, if the thieves have to do a fort save. Everybody else gets 8 temp HP.
They are both fine.
Swift to keep the blessing on Zayaran. And I guess I just move on around to... Yeah, here's fine.
Is that it?
Yep.
This fella is making his way around to here. They're going to go to here. And are going to attack Edwin.
Did he drop his bow somewhere?
This one isn't an
Okay.
archer.
Oh, okay.
Edwin, you will take 5 damage.
It's really hard to tell who's who with all the trees in the way.
Edwin. You're lighting up Jack B, but nothing's coming out. Still nada.
Hello?
Hello, can hear you.
There he is.
That was weird. Okay, so as a swift, I'm gonna triage myself. In character, I don't know what these guys are doing to me in terms of the hits to my limbs, but what is the action to take the arrows out? Like, how do I do it? Is it first aid? Is it a standard action? I'm trying to figure it out.
You could use knowledge local to figure out what they did.
Never the secrets. I don't know, does that get it?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So it's cool shots, right?
What they did was not called shots. What they did was distracting shots. So taking out the arrows is not going to do anything.
Okay, cool.
Basically, as long as they hit you, you take -2 on all attack rolls.
No, that's good to know. I didn't know if I could pull the arrows out and have that change anything or not. If it doesn't, that's fine. So, swift action triage. Nice. So that's my swift. As a move, I'll use Battlefield Inspiration. Which is basically just Edwin shouting, "Don't kill them!" For an additional 8. And as a standard, no one else has actually been hit apart from me, have they?
No.
Yeah, Zaren's just been dodging left and right.
Yeah, so you're
Parrying.
fine. I will 5-foot step to here. And probably lethally stab this guy, because they seem fairly capable. Or is this the same one that's been hit before, like they look injured?
These
Only-
three have not been hit.
Only one has been hit and took like 2 lethal stabs from Zaire and they were still up.
Alright, I'm gonna give him a stab with flanking. Flanking is not in there. So it'll be 15, probably misses anyway.
You try and stab out with your rapier, but you miss.
That's me done.
Zyren.
I've hit this guy to my right like once with a parry, right?
Yes.
That should be the only time he's been hit. I'm going to go ahead and do a precise strike on him.
You also stab that guy through the shoulder, but they stay standing.
That's about where I want them to be.
Goes to the archer at the back, who's going to fight for step 2 here. And is going to shoot Edwin again.
Should have picked up deflect arrows. Alright.
Edwin will be shot in the back for 10.
Okay. I thought I had decent AC. Goddamn.
This other one's also going to fire at you. And speaking of decent AC, this one will miss. Your -2 is continuing.
Okay.
This fella is in a predicament. He is going to stab Zyron.
I'm going to parry that. I'm going to do it non-lethally, so with the bonus from Drazenka, that should be -2 total, yes?
Yeah.
Ooh!
You just slam his rapier with your stock, but you put so much force into the parry that you miss the attack. They are then going to 5 step back to here. Ow.
She is gonna wander on down. Okay. Oh,
That's a nice opera page you got there.
yeah. She's gonna wander on down to this one and crack them over the head with her axe.
Do you think their head is a walnut?
And that's a no.
Well, apparently you have a tree nut allergy, as you completely miss.
Heavy axe.
Trazenka.
I'm going to drop the blessing because I'm going to use with the cast saber. And then I'm gonna try to attack the guy between myself and Edwin non-lethally.
Be nice to have a monk right about now.
So,
What's with all these critical non-lethals?
we cracked it, we just don't want to kill things.
You slam down on their heads with your longsword.
Damn.
And they are not frozen to the spot, but they are definitely seeing stars. Is that it from Jazenka?
Gonna 5 foot step down here.
Alright.
Just realised I wouldn't have taken damage out of 10.
That northern guy is going to see how things are going and is going to withdraw. To there.
Don't let him escape.
Edwin. It's also a her.
Don't let her escape.
Just realising I should have taken what my gut feeling was a long time ago. If Al says that, I will. Seeing as you guys seem okay. Am I gonna move? Am I not? No. Who is actually injured at this point of the people who fought? Because Drazenka just cracked one of them. Is that the one that just ran away?
That was the guy I cracked who ran away.
The only one who isn't injured is this fella.
Okay. If I hear Al say that, I will double moves, which will provoke, but I'm going after him.
If you're gonna trouble, we could just withdraw. Because that's W movement, right?
That's true, I could just do that, but the thing
You only
still
withdraw
get
for
hit.
the square you're standing in, so if you go straight up, it's still provoked for the second.
Yes, it's kind of... Either way, it's going to hit me.
I mean, you could go like that. You could go through Drazenka. The other guy just has a bow.
Because yeah, the bow guys don't provoke.
That's true. I will do that. I won't push past Drazenka, I'll kind of like move as best I can. Because I'm moving, so that's 40. That's 20. There or there. Right there. I'll go to there. That's been done.
Zyron.
Okay, so I've seen 2 people bite the dust, and there's one over by Drazenka, one up by Edwin. Am I missing anybody?
There's only one person who's spotted the dust.
Oh, I thought.
Only one of
okay.
them is down.
No. So you're nearer the... Like, to your right is the cluster of enemies. I've just got one.
And you've got a ranged weapon on you.
I do.
You do or you don't?
I do.
Alright, I am going to... I'm going to Night Talon the dude over by Drazenka from here. Because I can do that. I no longer have the bonus. That didn't add my bonus, so that should be 15.
That'd be 15. 15 will miss, however.
Rats. That's only a regular attack, and then I will move up to here.
Alright.
That will provoke an attack of opportunity.
They will take. You will parry, and you will stab. As that fellow will hit the floor.
Oh, and that was lethal too, unfortunately. He's probably not dead yet, as long as he can get treated, but...
This archer is gonna book it for the hills and withdraw to here. Spell is also going to withdraw to there. Ow.
Where did the one that was next to me go?
He went off
Slightly
into the
south,
trees.
but mostly east.
You're getting
Yes, I
very
guess
quiet,
it-
Chester.
I said, can Drazenka still see them?
I can see both the archers, but I can only go after one.
She will double move to there.
Zinka.
Is there any difficult terrain in this area?
No.
Also, the temp HP from White are gone. I'm just gonna charge the archer. And sure, I can do it non-lethally.
Charging on down at the fleeing archer, you smack him in the back of the head. And they are frozen.
Nice.
That it from Drazenka.
Yep, that's it. Blessing for Al for attack rolls, because I think she's the only one close enough. Might not be. No, just barely.
This girl up top is gonna withdraw again.
Yeah, I realise I can't do shit about that, which is very stupid. We going over here.
Edward. I mean, you could drop your rapier 5 step and shoot.
I think that's the only thing I can do, really. Yeah, I'll do that. Move here. Aim. Fire. That is lethal. Probably not going to hit anyway.
Firing a bolt, you miss the fleeing lady.
Edmund will just curse at that point. It's probably done.
Zyron.
I wish I could make myself faster with my temporal points, but that doesn't seem to be a thing that I can do right now, so... If I move to there... Oh good, I can hit this guy with a Night Talon potential. No bonuses, so... yeah. Ooh.
Sending out a slash. Sadly, you are unable to hit that archer.
Can I give my hero point to Zyra to make that a 20?
I guess I could just re-roll it, but I don't want to take it away from Ow either.
If you are going to give it to an ally, it's half the bonus. It's only 2 because it's after the roll, so it'd be an 18. If you gave it to Zyron, Edwin.
I'll be willing to do it, but if you don't want it, that's fine.
No, you know what? I think I'll use my hero point and increase that that bonus.
If you do it, it'll be 4 because it's after a roll, so it would be a 20 in that case.
So yeah, I'll do that.
Alright. With a 20, you still miss.
Ouch. That makes me sad.
Is that it from Zyron?
Yeah, that's it.
This fella up top. I need to double check. frozen because I can never remember what it now does.
Unable to move.
So it'd have a harness of 1 and health of 3. I guess he can shoot the ice.
But that would provoke.
Yeah. See anything else? That he does. He is gonna drop his bow on the floor, pull out a light mace, and smash at the ice. And he will smash away the ice on his legs. And is going to attempt an acrobatics. What is Drazenka's CMD?
13.
Alright, they are able to tumble to here. I don't really have a symbol. There you go, wrench, I don't know. The one down south is going to withdraw again. To here. Ow.
You can give yourself a hero point to give yourself another turn, or is it just an action out of turn?
You can spend a hero point to give yourself an extra action. Double check when it's in your turn, because the other one is a ready action.
So you can't use a hero point.
Yeah, you can spend a hero point to give yourself an extra action in your turn. If you want to do it outside of your turn, it's basically a ready action, which would move your initiative.
What ranged capabilities does Zero have?
Night Talon?
Yeah, he's got Night Talon, 30-foot range.
Can I use my hero point to give it to Zero and to get him to use Night Talon on me to force me to transform into my dragon without actually having to use a form?
I'm pretty sure you're meant to be taking damage from enemies to do your transformation.
Nope, it says taking damage from an attack. It doesn't say it has to be from an enemy.
I can
But
just
that's
imagine
just-
Al turning around and just saying, "Hit me!"
Pretty much.
Mm.
But that's all on the basis of you actually hit me. I hope you do.
Sure. It just means that Zion will be after the two archers rather than before them. If he wants to do it, I mean, he can just say no to your hero point.
Yeah, you can just say no. Would you take it?
I would do it if that's what you want me to do.
All right. Alwyn views herself and turns around and shouts at Zero to say hit her. Even if you could just move up and hit me, it doesn't matter.
Are
Oh,
you
no, can't.
serious?
You motherfucker! Why?
That's garbage.
We're
I
not
rolled
doing
a
well on the
2.
rolls. Yeah, we're not doing good on the rolls today.
I've rolled over 10 only on like skill checks this entire.
I guess Al's just going to see the
Oh no, that's not true. I've got a couple of
Talon
criticals.
just whip past her head and just go, fuck's sake. And she'll spend a 4-round action transforming. Instead.
I'm sorry.
Alright. Jazenka.
Just gonna charge at the archer again.
The Mesa.
The guy who ran away from my eyes.
Mhm.
I'm still going on lethal. Nope.
You try and swipe out the fleeing archer who just has a mace, and they jump over your blade as they continue to try and get away. Guy up top, well, girl up top is out of here. Edward.
Feels pretty useless right now, so just gonna move.
I mean, you could technically try and shoot her at -4.
That's really what I'm gonna do, honestly. Where are they? I can't see anything.
It's trees.
Oh, I can see like the very edge of the over here. Is that the one that's running?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
they're all running, but yeah.
Screw it. I'll roll it. Yeah, absolutely not.
You just forget to load the bolt, it just like slides out.
Oh, dry fire.
Yeah, I feel bad in every way, shape, and form.
This fella is withdrawing out of there. As does this fella.
If they run, I'll go over to the ones that are on the ground and just first aid them to make
How
sure
far are
they're
they running?
stabilized.
Can I not see them?
1 second, I need to check that guy led out on the floor. Alright, that guy bled out on the floor.
Which one?
The one on the right.
Oh, fuck's sake. Okay.
The one you go up to is on 0 health and has a negative non-lethal equal to their actual health. So they're totally on 0-0. But since they went down to non-lethal, you don't need to heal them. Al, you could go after one of the archers on the right.
She will.
And I would love to. The guy who ran away from me, I would like to send magic missiles after them.
You'd be able to do that once, but after then, they're going to be behind trees and much further away.
Well, let's do it the once then.
Yeah.
See what that does. I'll use faith to again put it to give an additional missile.
A missile?
Missile, I know how to speak.
Smoking a pancake.
Can I go grab a chocobo and follow these guys?
That is unfortunately lethal, but here's hoping.
We'll see.
Not non-lethal to at least knock him unconscious. Don't matter if he's dead.
Sadly, she doesn't have the feats for the non-lethal spells.
Yeah, no. But I did whack them non-lethally at least once.
Mhm.
I thought everyone was non-lethal, but I guess that one that's bled out.
Not always.
Right.
Zyron was doing lethal half the time. obviously those all three hit, however they continue running. As for Zyron, your chocobos are hitched up to your carriage, so it's going to take some time to get them off the carriage. At which point it's going to be very hard to track these fellas down for how far they're going to get whilst running.
Yeah, that's true. Can they just hop on the carriage and go? I can move faster with the carriage than they can walk, right?
You're in a forest. You're going to be turning left and right across these trees, and you're not going to go full speed in that either.
Dang it. I tried.
Is Al going to go after the one she was trying to go after? Since you have faster flight, you would be able to catch them, but probably no one else.
Yeah, I will be chasing that one. And would the other one that Drazenka was fighting, because they sort of both ran in the same similar direction, would they be within 60 foot if I landed in front of the one I'm chasing? Because they can
No.
use breath weapon. Damn it. Okay, at least I get one of them, so.
With your flight, we can just easily say you get that one, and then you can bring them back.
That's good. Let's get a grapple it, pretty much just drag it back. Fuck you think you're going? Al will come back, kind of like disappointed with herself because she let one go.
And it would be able to apprehend 2 people.
So we captured 2, killed 1, and 2 got away.
That is the count, yes.
Do you guys think you could track the one of them at least?
Suppose we could try, but they run in different directions.
That's why I said only one of them.
We could try, but we still need to find out the stolen goods, do we not?
The stolen goods are amongst the tree trunks.
Gotcha.
We
Yeah,
also
the guy I walked up on was digging in a bag. Let me go. Oh, go pick up the bag that he was digging in.
The bags contain items you would see normally sold within a general store, from ropes and grappling hooks to cow traps and bear traps.
As I said, we could, I suppose, but I imagine they know these forests better than us, and it is getting quite dark.
Indeed, and we need to make sure these people are restrained properly. I'm sorry that I wasn't particularly effective there.
Well, we are more well versed to fighting creatures than we are to apprehending criminals.
Indeed.
Is the party setting up camp and stripping these free of what they have?
Pretty much.
Binding hands and feet feeding them some bread and water so they don't die.
We have the manacles as well that we can put on them.
Right, well, that's what I meant by binding hands and feet. There's not enough of them for, they only need, that we've got manacles enough to put on their hands and feet.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
they
if you
fit
do it
around
too-
the feet.
We'll make it work.
Because there isn't it like a different thing to put around feet?
You can use manacles for feet. Pretty much operates the same way. You would normally have manacles with a longer chain for the feet, just so people can actually walk.
Yeah, I don't want them walking at night.
And also ankles are usually like thicker than wrists, I guess.
That's what you can get from them.
I take it this isn't part of the stolen goods, these are just what they had on them.
That's what they have on them, not in the bags.
Okay. Well, should we rest here or should we head back tonight? These people don't think that they're going anywhere. And unfortunately, while their friends are out there, if, as Drazenka suggested, we do double watches, we should be fine.
Seeing as we only got 2 of them, I suppose it would be fine to camp out here.
Well, let's set up then, I'll check them over. Maybe kind of sober and just make sure they're not going to die over the course of the night. But just loosen any restraints or anything.
Alright. Set up camp in the forest here. Thankfully, nothing happens through the night or through any of the watches. The 3 people still unconscious in the next morning.
Well, 2 unconscious, 1 dead. I hope they stay dead.
No, he just stopped being dead and became unconscious. He revived himself.
That's more money for us. But yeah, I think we all just head back, right?
Yeah.
Food's pretty fairly sullen from at least Edwin. Just feels like he could have done better there, but didn't.
Well, we did what the quest asked. We got the stolen goods back, and at the very least, we scattered the group well enough that they shouldn't be causing any more trouble.
I suppose.
Is the party returning back to Ilmut?
Yeah.
The stuff I listed you can take.
Nice.
I'm good without all of it for now. I do get some spicy shit with potions later on, but not yet.
Alright. Handing over the 2 unconscious thieves as well as the stolen goods. You'll be rewarded the 1,000 gil you were promised, and for bringing in 2 unconscious people, you can have 1+4 ability potion of your choice. So basically the giant drinks and whatnot.
Does the dead one not give us anything, or is that just a...
Nope.
It's there.
Did you
Alright.
take the dead one back?
Yeah, absolutely.
They don't care for the dead one. They can't get anything out of them.
I'm good without, if you guys want to pick what you want.
I'll be replenishing my Giant's Drink.
I take it that we only get 1+4 potion, it's not for everyone.
Just one. Is the party doing anything else in the settlement of Ilmet?
Nothing from me.
Don't think so.
I think we're ready to just go.
Alright, heading off to Fort Mock then, yes?
Yep.
Alright. Continuing on your travel towards the north, you'll come up to Fort Mock. I'm having a coughing fit right now. Stone walls, as far as the eye can see, stretch out across the landscape to the west and the east. Reaching up into the skies, the walls are around 150 foot tall. It'd be hard for pretty much anyone to jump across it, even if they wanted to. You can see dots of black going across the battlements. As you go up to Fort Mock, however, the design is set atop several hillsides in the distance. Several buildings with the sounds of anvils being hit, forges being lit, and footsteps of sabatons. As you come to the base of such, however, the wall connects up to the ground floor as large metal portcullis gates are closed. On the other side of which, you can see a few guards looking in your direction through the gaps in the portcullis. On your side of it, there are a few carriages hitched up to the side of the road and a few tents set up. It seems like there is quite a bit of chatter on this side of the closed portcullis gates, as people are talking about local events and looking off towards the gates that seemingly are unmoving.
What do you think the matter is up there? It seems like a lockdown of some kind.
Only one way to find out.
Well, I wouldn't recommend me talking to these people.
Alright. You just let me know when you want me to get in.
I'll talk to them.
Well, thank you, Sarah.
And I'll walk up to the gates. Do they try to stop me or anything like that?
I mean, the guards are on the other side of the gates, so if they don't physically stop you, but they do speak over to you as you approach. Are you going with the carriage or on foot?
I mean, I guess with the carriage. But I'm driving it anyways, so.
one of the guardsmen will shout over to you. Do you bring supplies for the fort, or do you wish access?
We're visiting. We don't have any supplies for the fort itself.
The fort and the wall is currently in lockdown. Only those with gate passes may enter or pass through.
Oh, how would we get a gate pass?
You would sign some documents, pay the fee, and wait 45 days.
45 days?
That is how long the background checks normally take.
What is the reason for the lockdown?
It's because of the Naga issues and spies.
Does it help that we're with the guilds?
It helps to make a background check on you, but many people join the guilds from no backgrounds.
Oh.
Is there no way to expedite the process?
If you're able to acquire a gate pass otherwise.
And what other ways might there be?
Local lords and mayors of settlements may hand them down if they have spares. Their word is as good as a background check.
We just did some work for some people in Ilma. Maybe they'd be willing to give us a pass.
Not for me to say.
This is insanity. Do we look like Naga? Ugh.
I mean, Al kinda looks like a little bit like a Naga.
The Naga have been known to use other races as spies, and they've also been conspiring with Namazu as well.
Oh, yeah, we came across that as well. We actually took out a Namazu necromancer in the south who was working with the Naga. Is there somebody that we could talk to that's maybe a little bit higher than you that we can like try to reason with a little bit?
Do you push the Karen haircut out of your way as you ask to speak to his manager?
Yes.
We
But
can
nice.
send word ahead to get one of the higher ups to talk with you. However, there's a lot of things going on in Fort Mock and North Wales. It might take a week for anyone to be able to come talk to you. You're welcome to stay on that side of the gate like the others.
Well, this is very inconvenient. We're on its schedule and we can't really take that much time out of our trip.
If only you guys had
I
some
sympathize,
wings
but I have my
to
orders.
What was that, sorry? No?
What was Al saying?
fly. If only you guys had some wings and we could fly over.
I don't think that would be the right thing to do, Al.
So you
The
could
skies and the waters nearby are being watched.
See? You try to fly over and they're just gonna shoot you out of the sky.
Look, sir, may we ask your name, please? I don't mean to address you as faceless guard.
I am Greener.
Rena, do you know anywhere that needs to work? We want to get the passes, but then we need some kind of idea of where to go. I know there are larger cities to the west, but would Ilwood give us a potential pass, or do we have to wait the time?
Ilmud is typically a place for the guards. It might be hard for you to get a pass from there. My only advice is to go to one of the bigger settlements. Though I will say,
Not
don't
as
get
local
many
for-
people with passes from other people here. It is just a suggestion.
Can I get like a knowledge check for the area to know which closest settlement would have anyone we could possibly talk to?
That you can. No, it would be local. It'd be knowledge nobility.
I can help with that. If
Well,
you
I can't
go-
roll it in the first place.
I cannot help with this one.
Fuck's sake. Okay.
Now's the time. You would know that the closest place that would have the highest chance of somebody in authority or wealth to have a spare gate pass to hand to you would be at Tillydrone or Herdine, which is across the river to the east.
I will relay that to the party.
Those are both really close to the rivers, and with the Nagas attacks getting more prevalent, I'm really loath to go that close to the rivers.
Well, if anything, it might give us a chance to prove ourselves to whoever we need to in order to acquire a pass.
Unfortunately, I think Drazinka's right. As much as we loathe to have more interaction with the Naga, the only way we're going to getting past the fort is via that means. We could wait 45 days, but I mean, that's a lot of our time. If there's any other delay, we're screwed.
Well, at the very least, we should try to put in for our background checks now so that we can, if all else fails, we just wait it out.
Do they not cost? Do we not need to pay for those?
I mean, we probably have enough to cover it.
You can apply for a caravan's gate pass, since there are several of you. It still takes around 45 days, and it's 1,000 gil.
Oh, boy. Well, it's a good thing we just came into 1,000 gil.
I don't like the idea of it, honestly, but it's a group vote. What do you all think? I think inaction is poor, but that's my opinion.
I agree. I definitely say we visit at least Tillydrone. But I think in the meantime we should get this started, because if all else fails and we never get a pass from somewhere else, we'll just be that much more behind.
I'm inclined to agree. We should at least get the process going. But still attempt to contact someone who might be able to expedite it.
And, I mean, 45 days is a long time. It's about half the remaining time that we have. But if we get what we need to get done, and we just rush back to Hattawood, then we probably make it still, even with the 45 days.
That's assuming you don't have problems with the Naga on the way back, which this journey should have taken a fraction of the time it took on the way here. I just don't like the idea of the waiting, but again, let's put it to a vote. Agreed?
Agreed. I vote that we get started on it with the application and then go to Tillydrone.
I agree with Seiren.
In truth, I think we need the money. If we're going to Tillydrone, it's a metropolis, we have no funding, no friends in the city. We may need that money to secure that friendship. Well, I respect your decision, but I think we should keep the money and go.
We can also do side jobs on the way.
We can, but what would we have between there? There's only 2 settlements between Tillydrone and the city. If we're being a roundabout way, we don't have much time. Unless we happen to come across someone in need who has a lot of money. throwing ourselves to fate? Or a deity? Pretty flash from my eyes, just like are we hoping for a dragon to appear again?
Well, I feel like Tillydrone is gonna have a guild board that we could get jobs off of too.
Especially with them being so close to waters and with the Nagos being an issue, I imagine guild work should be quite ample in both Herndin and Tildrone.
Everyone's probably going to visibly see Al just start walking off.
If Al's
He starts
walking in the
what?
same direction, I'm thinking.
How? We are still at the carriage.
She can get out of the carriage.
She'll get out of the carriage.
Sure, she can.
I will look at if I clock where Al's going with what I've just seen. I will say to you the two. I think someone's trying to wave us over. That way. And I will point in the direction.
I don't see anybody.
Al's going to start, like, still walking
That's
towards the
sleepy.
person, but kind of shouting in a way, like, do I know you?
You don't know me, Kupo, but I got some information you might want, Kupo.
What kind of information?
Are you going towards the tent, or are you still yelling over a way?
Still yelling, but I'm still walking now. I'm probably almost there.
Better go after her.
You've been chatting up the guards at the gate for quite some time, Kupo. Looking for a gate pass?
Depends. Do you have one?
Not in my hands and not in my pockets. But if something was to fill those, Kupo, I could tell you where you could find one.
How much are you thinking?
100 gil for the information and a nice little dot on your map, Kupo. I think it would be fine.
At this point, if we walk over towards where Al is, or is she still on her own?
Well, Zyron's moving the carriage around as Greener just like waves you off.
I don't know. This feels kind of like a shakedown to me. How about we shake down that price a little bit?
Well, as long as you're not shaking me, Kupo.
No.
Roll me
Bring the
diplomacy.
price down.
Yeah, I think we could shake that price, Kupo. How about 110 gil?
I will start, like, kind of motioning her hands as if she was going to grow her claws, and she's like, I'm not very good with brain stuff, but feel like that price went up.
Well, that's what you were asking for, wasn't it, Kupo? You want to shake up the price so the information's better, right, Kupo?
Shake down the price.
Well, if you don't want the better information, Kupo, that's up to you. Well, I see you got your little friends here, Kupo. You all wanting this gate pass, Kupo?
I will sort of turn around and say, this smart little creature knows the location of the gate pass, though wants a bit of cash for it.
What kind of cash are we talking?
Money, gil, grass.
How much, Al?
Well, for you, 150.
That doesn't sound worth it at all.
Well, do you want to go back and pay 1,000?
Not
And wait a
necessarily,
month
but
and a half, that Kupo. But the place I'm telling you is gonna take you like 2 days, Kupo.
Can I sense motive the guy?
I was about to do the exact.
Is he full of shit?
No, he is immune to sense motive.
Is
I was
he?
supposed like, have I heard enough to do the sense motive on it?
Yeah, you are. It definitely seems like the Moogle may have told other people this from the way he's acting, but it seems like he does know a place.
And if you know such a place, then are we the first one to possibly take you up on this offer?
Well, let's just say, Kupo, my pockets have been full a few times before.
So how do you know that this ticket's still there?
Well, I've been stationed outside the gates for about 2 months, Kupo. They haven't come through here. I don't think they're ever going to come through here, Kupo.
So you mean to say that it's a dangerous location wherever this ticket is?
That's right,
sounds like-
Kupo.
And it sounds like you're just making money hand over fist on all these people that are coming through here without any return for them.
Well, the return is that they get to keep 900 gil and save quite a few days, Kupo, if they're able to get it. I mean, I only ever tell the people who look like they got weapons equipped, Kupo.
That's only 100. Oh, you told me it was 150.
What? No, I didn't say that.
100's better than 150, but that's a lot of money just to be handing out for something that seems like it's a really far off shot. I'm gonna be trying to haggle down the price with this conversation is essentially what's going on.
Robbie diplomacy.
God damn.
Oh, oops. That buff is not supposed to be on there.
I mean, that buff wouldn't affect your skill anyway.
I mean, it could. I just
It could,
realized
but
doing
it's
it,
not.
but it's not.
It
It's
shouldn't
not on.
be.
Yeah, yeah, it's not on right now.
Well, I can see you're the brains of the operation right here, Kupo. Let's say 80 gil. Get yourself a nice meal in the fort for yourself after your troubles, Kupo.
Sounds a lot more reasonable.
Wait
What
a
exactly is
moment.
it that-
What do you mean, brains of the operation?
Don't worry, Al. We all know you're the brawn.
If you don't mind me asking, what exactly makes acquiring this ticket so dangerous? Just the location or means needed to get it?
Well, like I said, Kupo. I've told a few people before. They just not come back. It's, how you can say, an occupied location, Kupo.
Oh no, occupied by who or what?
It'll be what, Kupo? Last time I went there, had some, things made out of rock and they moved.
What? Rock elementals?
Golems
They're easy.
or elementals?
I'll just tell you this because I'm giving you a good deal as well, just to throw it up top, Kupo. When I saw that rock moving, I was just right out of there, Kupo.
So whereabouts is this?
Well, for that information, it's 80 gil, Kupo.
I think we gotta pay first, Al.
Yeah, I know. I was just trying to see if I could shake the information out of him before you gave him any money.
Sounds like a risky plan, Al.
Risky play? What do you mean? You'll either give up the information or you'll die.
Does it require any illegal means to acquire the ticket?
The Moogle thinks for a moment.
No, I don't think there'll be anything illegal in doing what you're doing, Kupo.
He said what he said.
Well, it is an option.
So now we
cheaper
have
option.
3 plans.
I'm down for the rock golem idea. Wait, that's if it's a rock golem. Or an elemental. I don't know. I'm down for the Moogle's idea.
I hesitantly agree, only because it should only take a couple of days, and if not, we potentially still have enough money to do the actual check here at Fort Mock.
Do we know much about rock golems at all? Because we know golems in general are pretty strong.
Or rock
Yeah.
elementals.
Oh, is it elemental? Sorry, I thought it was golems.
We
He
don't
doesn't know.
know.
He just said it's moving rock.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll find out when we get there, I guess.
Or
well,
maybe
do
just
that.
something camouflaged as a big old rock.
I'll be honest, I don't like this idea, but it's probably the most expedient.
Big risk, potentially big reward.
How equipped were these people used to send off? More equipped than us or less equipped?
I'm not exactly gonna be bringing out a tape measure and making notes, Kupo. They were equipped. They were adventurous. They looked tough.
Do they look as tough as me, though?
I'd say they're about midway between your brains and that one's brains, Kupo.
Must be pretty easy rock golems then.
Zaire just giggles it out and inadvertently making fun of herself.
What?
So what's it gonna be, Kupo? 80 gil for a location of a gate pass? And are you gonna go off somewhere else looking for one, Kupo?
I'm in, but I think we have to vote on it.
Got democracy, do you, Kupo? I would have thought you'd be the leader, Kupo.
Oh, no, I'm... No, thank you.
I'm also in favor. It is as good a plan as any of the others we had so far.
Edwin?
I've made my stance clear.
Great, so we're all in. Oh, hands over the 80 go.
Edwin opens his mouth as if to rebuke, but then just closes it. It's not worth doing.
Thank you for the money, Kupo. Now, this gate pass, Kupo, it belonged to a long since dead Kupo. Wealthy family? I think they were merchants or something, Kupo. They had enough to get themselves a lovely little mansion outside of the settlement. You'll find it a few tracks off to the east. I can mark it on your map for you, Kupo. And you'll find within, most likely, the master bedroom, their gate pass. For what I could find chatting with other people and reading up on some books over in Ilmut, Kupo, it seemed they liked to travel north quite a few times. So they've got to have a gate pass if they're going through that many times. The walls have been shut a few times in the past, so
Do
that'll
these,
be it for you.
do these gate passes expire?
Nope. Well, they do expire, but you're waiting like 200 years for it to expire, Kupo. They've not been gone that long.
Oh, okay. Zairen's not the greatest at this, but he's going to try to memorize the features of this Moogle. And when we're
Are
away,
you racist when it comes to Moogles?
no. Just this one in particular is really shady seeming. So I'm just gonna take note of any defining characteristics, and if this all goes to the poop hole, I'm gonna be coming back and looking for him, and I'm not gonna be happy with him. Well, thank you for the information.
And thank you for the cast and Kupo. I hope you'll be the first fellas I get to see returning, Kupo.
Well, have a good rest of your day.
The Moogle goes inside that tent.
As we start like walking away from it, him and I guess towards back to our carriage, Drasenka will kind of sit next to Edwin. Say that I know you do not like this, and truth be told, I do not like it much either, but if it all goes to shit, we can just leave the area and continue on our way towards Tillydrone and go with the first idea we had.
I know. It's just if we fail this, I know it shouldn't mean that much. It's just beans, isn't it? Carthora just wants beans, but if we fail this, I don't know what repercussions happen. And trusting this very shady Moogle doesn't sit right with me, but I understand it's possibly our best choice. Logically, it makes sense.
If we had all the time we need, I would gladly take the long route and for the application to go through and just do work in the nearby area in the meantime, but we do not exactly have that luxury.
Maybe not. I do think maybe the nearby dragon could assist us. They are master of the oceans. They could potentially move us, but the distance is too far. The Naga are probably more of a problem for them as well.
Everything is a big maybe. We just need to decide on a course of action and go through with something.
Indeed. Truth be told, Jasenka, I miss my house. But whinging about it isn't going to help. I'll sort of stretch out. Mansion it is then.
If what the Moogle said is correct and it is still there, we've been through a lot already. We should be able to survive that much.
Maybe.
And again, if not, we can just leave and keep going towards east. Find a noble and hopefully get their favors.
That's the problem, isn't it? If we don't survive the mansion, this all ends there.
Well, sounds like he was able to just bail once things got too tough. We might be able to do the same.
I just don't want to lose any of you on the way up here. Or back down, frankly. But life's at risk. I'm going to have to take one of them eventually. And don't tell Owls I hear it, but they both mean a lot to me, but they keep acting in this strange manner. It's like they're fighting for something I can't understand. But they work well together.
I think I know what you mean. Their bickering was disconcerting to me at first and still is sometimes, but I believe there is a care for each other as well in them.
I think there is. It's just like it spills over sometimes into something worse. But I won't pretend to understand the relationship. Honestly, people of their age have different concerns usually, but they're concerned with fighting each other. Either way.
There is a stubbornness to both of them.
Indeed.
But that's why we are their friends, are we not? To keep them in check.
I suppose we are friends, aren't we? I used to think we were just neighbours. I suppose time will tell.
I would like to consider all of us friends.
Really, I don't have too much experience with them. Maybe you're right.
So when you said that it's going to be really easy elemental, you actually made fun of yourself.
What?
Yeah, he was calling me really, really smart, and he was calling you really, really unintelligent. And then when he said that they were the other adventurers were like in the middle, and you said, "Wow, that sounds like it's gonna be a really easy rock elemental," or whatever it is you said. That was basically making fun of yourself. That's why I was giggling.
Well, that can't be right. You can't be smart because it's not how it went at all.
But it is how it went.
That's alright. You believe what you want to.
It's probably best if you believe what you want to as well.
I shall.
What are you two up to back there?
Just talking about whether we should rest up here first or keep going for a little bit and camp about the way.
Indeed, Dyer, and you are the brains of our operation, aren't you? We're just taking a backward step.
No, I think that's... I mean, I'm okay, but you're definitely the smart one.
No, that's what I've been told. You're the brains of the operation, correct?
So
I
here
believe
just,
part of that was just flattery, but he's not completely wrong.
so here just gets all flustered and goes quiet for a little bit.
The brains of the brawn. Oh. The muscles move the body, and the brain helps to direct the muscles. So, lead on.
I'd rather just be the face. The silver tongue that's also got barbs on it.
Interesting analogy. Well, come on. Sitting here and deciding on if we're going to rest or not. We probably should sleep, but the mansion is close. Let's go when we can.
Sure. And I'll start driving towards the mansion. Would it be faster to go on the roads or faster to go through the woods?
Just from how the hexes work, it'd be fastest to go straight for the woods. But you're either going to be sleeping in Fort Mock or you're going to be sleeping on that tell there.
Might as well set up camp outside the wall here where their guards are going to protect us to a degree.
Sounds good to me.
I agree. Should be safe enough location with the already established campers around.
I'll maneuver us to the outside of whatever campgrounds there are. Set up.
Yep, you're easily able to set up beside the other carriages. Is anyone doing anything before you go to sleep?
Just reading as usual. Gonna work out.
Studying some language books, trying to pick up some more languages.
Yeah, I'm just looking for references to Yoshkaik in anything I have. I know I don't, but I'm just going over the books again.
All right. The day will pass into the next. Is the party heading straight to the mansion yet?
I think so.
No reason not to.
Taking the carriage off the roads for the second time in your journey, you kind of hug the wall for some time, however, go slightly more southern to the point where you're not going to be too easily seen by the people on the battlements. Eventually, you'll come to a very large clearing in the woods where you can see a bungalow-style mansion. Redleaf trees create a lovely walkway up to the front door. Stone-tiled pavement is strewn across the lovely grass, though it has been overgrown for quite some time. The sunlight bleeds into several windows on both the west and the east, showing the interior, if not dusty, rather ornate and lavish. The front doors are iron banded, though are mostly made out of wood, but the rest of the construction of the house is made out of stone, with wooden window frames with glass panes. The fields and trees hug around to the west and east, to which point you could circumvent around this place, though it is rather wide and rather long, if not a bit on the short side, as it is a bungalow style. You do notice that on your approach there is a stone walkway on both the west and northern entrances as well.
I think we should check the windows. I can see through them, can all of you?
Somewhat, yes.
Yeah.
Before we check the door, see what we're dealing with.
On the left side, you can see into a lovely seating area, a fireplace that has long since been dead. The fire is not there. It also seemingly connects into an adjoining rugged floor library. There is a door off to the north, however, parts of the wall are missing, creating strange archways. You can see it continues off towards the north and the east. The eastern window peers into a rather cozy and modest reading room. Several chairs have been pushed under a table that faces the window, with a few patches of the table missing some dust. Well, not as thick dust, almost as if that's where books used to lay, but have been moved in the past, as well as a door leading towards the west in there, but probably just links into the entrance hall.
I'll relay that.
Likewise.
Well, it sounds like the door may be our best bet. Shall we?
We shall.
Let's keep our guard up here. Come too far to fail now.
I'm gonna activate my ring.
Can I check the door for traps before I opens it?
Is Al just going straight for the door and not letting Edwin do that?
Al's hand was probably right on the door handle, and when he said that, and he's like, "Oh, okay."
And yes, Edwin, you're allowed to check for traps.
No, cast detect magic, just have it on.
Well, I'm shit, but I tried.
Edwin sees no traps. Drazenka, you can see a fading magical aura on the door.
There used to be magic on the door at least.
And open. It's locked.
The doors shudder as you try and pull them, but they're locked. Drazenka, it's a very easy thing to tell. You know that the doors have recently been magically cleaned.
Well, if a door is locked, and Al reaches for her axe and holds it up, there's only one other way to open it.
Hold on.
What?
It shows signs that this has been recently cleaned magically.
So?
So
some-
Still... Sorry, go on.
Exactly, someone might still live here.
Fine. Al will use the bottom hilt of her axe and knock on the door.
It could also just be an automatic process.
It is
anyone
possible.
home?
There's no answer to the door.
Okay, so if the door doesn't open and there's no one home, then you just... And she holds up her axe again.
Let's check the windows. There are other doors.
Soon
I
you'll get a
understand.
chance.
Soon. These are locked.
So, if the windows are locked and there's no one home and the door's locked, then the only other option is...
How there are other entrances, but... Truth is, I don't have a better idea. We could check the other entrances, but I feel like if you hit that door, it isn't going to go well for us.
So I'm not hearing a no.
I'm gonna move to here. If you can do that.
Zaire is going to target the
Albert
lock
proceeds
itself,
to
and
swipe
Zaire
the
is going
door.
to stab at it before oh, dang it.
Al brings down her cleaving axe into the door and she makes a lovely hole to put her head through and shout Johnny, as we will end the session here.
Here's Johnny.
Alright.
I was going to try to get in there first, dang it.